Okay, so you're ready to launch your online business, right? You've got this killer idea. Maybe it's like a passion project. Maybe you even have some prototypes. But then, bam, reality hits. Website builders,
Uh,
hosting fees, plugins. Ugh, it can feel like a whole other job just to get your idea online.
yeah, it's a common hurdle for sure. Anyone
Mhm.
starting out is going to run into that.
Exactly, exactly. So imagine this. You pay $27 one time, and boom, you've got your website, A&ED, your online store, all taken care of forever.
Sounds pretty good.
Right. That's the radical thing that DashNex Powertech is putting forward. So we're going to unpack this, see if it's actually feasible.
That's what this deep dive is for. We dug into their marketing, testimonials, FAQs, everything to see if this DashNex thing is the real deal or just another too good to be true kind of offer.
Right. Right. Got to be sure. So, okay, DashNex. Lifetime access to a website, online store, all that, for a one-time fee of $27. They keep saying it's this crazy value compared to like the $497 a year you'd be paying elsewhere.
Yeah, they hit that point pretty hard. And, let's be realistic. Lifetime access, it's a bold claim for sure. So, how do they even do it? That's the first question.
Right. What's the magic behind this?
Well, they talk a lot about the power of cloud technology. Like, it's the same idea behind, Zoom or Dropbox. A lot of their basic services are free.
Okay, so they're saying we're going to leverage this powerful, efficient system to give you this crazy low price.
Exactly. And they're really pushing that this isn't some, fly-by-night operation. They highlight that they were founded in 2014, claim there's been $3 million invested in the platform, and say they've got 65,000 users in 204 countries.
Wow, okay, so experience, resources, they're checking those boxes.
Right.
But numbers are only part of the story, right? We need to hear from people who've actually used it.
100%. And that's where the testimonials come in. They've got this whole section on their site dedicated to what users are saying about DashNext.
Perfect. So hit me with some highlights. What are people saying?
Well, there's Cindy. She raves about how easy it was to set up her shop, especially for the price. Like, she was blown away by the value. Then there's Evelyn. She talks about making her first sale within 5 minutes of launching her store. 5 minutes.
Get out.
Yeah, she calls it the best $27 she's ever spent on her business, and she's been at it for 4 years.
Wow. Okay, so that's got to be encouraging for someone just starting out, especially if every dollar matters.
Did you see any, common themes in the testimonials? Definitely. Ease of use for beginners comes up a lot. Like, remember Jordy, the sports scientist we talked about before?
Yeah.
He was saying he doesn't have a tech background, but DashNext gave him the tools to get his online coffee business going.
I like that. It does feel like they're going for that anyone can do this vibe.
For sure. And then customer support. A lot of users talked about how responsive and helpful the DashNext team is, even compared to, the big name competitors.
Okay, so they're saying all the right things, but what about the platform itself? What are some of the features we should know about? So what about the platform itself? What are some of the features we should know about?
Well, they have this thing called the Limitless Editor, and it really caught my eye. They designed it to work for, all different skill levels. So whether you're a total newbie or you, dabble in code a little, they're saying you'll have the tools you need.
Okay, so they're not just going after one type of user then,
Yeah.
trying to cast a wider net. Smart.
Right. And I've got this multi-currency cash-on-delivery option, which is great for anyone with, global ambitions. Thinking about selling internationally could be a game changer. Plus, they built in a whole product reviews engine.
Which is huge these days. I mean, reviews can really make or break a product, right?
Totally. And they get that. They're clearly thinking about how to drive sales. They even mentioned that their checkout process is based on research from, what was it called? The Baymard Institute.
Baymard Institute. Remind me what that is again.
Oh, they're like this super well-respected web usability research company. Basically, DashNext is taking cues from the best to make sure that checkout process is top-notch. Those crucial moments when someone's deciding whether to buy or not.
Interesting. So they're not just throwing things out there to see what sticks. They're being strategic. Speaking of strategy, they mentioned Shopify a couple of times, which is kind of a bold move, going up against the biggest name in e-commerce.
It is. And they definitely don't shy away from it. They actually say they have more features than Shopify.
Whoa, really? Are they saying Shopify is done for?
Well, they imply that Shopify needs to, watch out. But they do say that DashNext might have a steeper learning curve, so maybe not as simple to use right off the bat, but potentially more powerful.
Got it. Got it. Could be more challenging to master, but maybe get more out of it in the long run. That makes sense. So you mentioned their FAQ section. Anything in there that our listeners should know about? What were some of the questions they addressed?
Let's see. Well, first off, they answered the question about using it internationally. Apparently, 30 to 40% of their customers are outside the US.
Okay, so they're definitely thinking globally. That's good to know.
Okay.
What about transaction fees? That's always a big one.
Yeah, they're very upfront about that. They don't charge any transaction fees. You only pay the fees from whatever payment processor you decide to use, like if you go with PayPal or Stripe.
Okay, good to know. Transparency is key. What about ownership?
Yeah.
If you build your website or store on this platform, is it actually yours?
Yeah, they address that. They say you have full ownership of everything you create on DashNex. And you can even transfer ownership if you need to.
All right, so you're checking a lot of boxes here, I'll give them that. But let's bring this back down to earth for a second. We've talked about the features, the promises, all the positive testimonials.
Yep.
But what does it all actually mean for someone who's listening to this right now?
Well, I think if you're thinking about getting into the online business world, even just a little bit, whether it's a basic website or a full-blown online store or both, DashNex Powertech is definitely worth looking into.
Especially if those monthly fees make you want to cry. They really push the whole save money angle hard.
Well, yeah, it makes sense, right? Those fees add up, especially when you're starting out and every dollar, really matters.
For sure.
And if they can really do it, I mean, if DashNex delivers on lifetime access, all the features, good support, it's huge, it could really shake things up for small businesses, solopreneurs, anyone on a budget.
Yeah, that initial investment could save you thousands in the long run, potentially.
Right. But, and this is important, this deep dive, we're only getting one side of the story, just the DashNex marketing.
Which, let's be real, marketing is always going to make things sound amazing.
Exactly. So it's up to you to do your research, make an informed decision. That's on you. We're just giving you the info to get started. Dig a little deeper, see what kind of reviews are out there, compare the features, and think for yourself. Does it actually fit with what you need, what your goals are?
They do have that 30-day money-back guarantee, so at least there's that.
Right, exactly. A little safety net.
But even beyond whether or not you go with DashNex, their whole approach is interesting. What if this whole thing, leveraging cloud tech to offer a one-time fee instead of subscriptions, what if that actually became the standard?
Oh, that's a good question. What if you didn't have to deal with all those monthly bills? Software, platforms, tools. You just pay once and you're set for life.
That'd be amazing. It would totally disrupt the industry. Suddenly, it's not about locking you into a contract. It's about offering actual lasting value.
Right. You got to compete on quality, on delivering what you promise.
It'd be wild to see.
That's
so much to think about. Well, this has been great. Really appreciate you breaking it all down with me.
Anytime. This is what we do.
And to everyone listening, knowledge is power. Use it wisely. Until next time.